And now we have the next in our My Android journey, and I'm delighted to say we're joined by Rana Kiwan from Lebanon. Hello, Rana.
Hello, everyone. So, do you like me to tell you my journey?
Please.
Okay. Before using Android in 2014, I was using iPhone 3GS. When I saw two of my relatives using Sony Xperia Z and Sony Xperia Acro S, I was really impressed by the idea of by the feature of waterproof. Yes, waterproof experience. So I, I, I was dreaming of the day where I can put my phone and a drink in front of my friends, and I can wash it and take it with me to the shower and answering calls while I'm in the shower. But I was hesitant in the first place because no one in my area was using Android. When my relative Karin Kiwan started using Android and she knew my desire of having a Sony, she encouraged me to go for this advantage. She showed me her phone, her Nexus phone, and she taught me how to use some gestures. Sony is more difficult than Nexus because Sony is not from Google itself, so it is really adventurous. And since I'm a technical support person, I wanted to enrich my experience in Android and to be able to help people around me. The launcher on Z1 phone was not accessible at all, especially the icon. I bought Z1 actually. I forgot to say that I bought Sony Xperia Z1 in 2014. So I had to install Apex and to organize the icons. The Xperia keyboard also was not accessible. I had to download Gboard, the Google keyboard, from an external source as an APK, because as you know, at that time, Google Keyboard was not available on Play Store because it's not a Google phone. I even remember answering phone calls was not accessible at all. I also had to install another application to make it work. Even answering WhatsApp was not easy. I had to learn the hard way how to find the place where I can swipe to answer on the screen. But the experience as a whole was amazing. I was comfortable with Android being an open source, and the file transfer was much easier. There are more applications. I remember how happy I was when I installed, call recorder, phone call recorder, because this feature, this app was not available on App Store. I have to say that I'm a volunteer on in a youth association of the blind. I used to help people there in technical issues such as phone repairs, screen readers, um, even helping and showing people how to use phones and computers. I also do computer Windows installations and things like that. So every time I saw a visually disabled person, they would be surprised when I show them my phone, especially that I'm using Android and in particular Sony Xperia. They would also ask me, "Is this as accessible?" And I always explain. And some people, I used to teach some people how to use this phone. So after a few years, I started setting up Android phones for visually disabled people, starting from my best friend and teaching them how to use the phone and to how to make the gestures, because it's more difficult than iPhone, you know. So I even help sighted people with their phones, setting it up and doing even helping their problems. I worked with Sony, Samsung, and Huawei phones. In 2016, I switched to Samsung Galaxy Note 5. The experience was much better because Samsung phone is more accessible. The interface, the built-in application, and even answering calls. There is a button, home button, where you can press to answer calls. Although I'm still using Launcher, home screen, and Google Keyboard. Nowadays, I'm using Samsung Galaxy Note 9, and it is really amazing. After using every phone I repaired, I deduced that Note series is the best. And thankfully, I got Note 9 before the crisis started because now I'm not able to change my phone.
That was really interesting, and it's always good to hear the Android journey. It's interesting to hear the pitfalls you had with it as well. I'm interested to know why did you want a Sony particularly when everyone else was on the Nexus? What attracted you to the Xperia? Was it just a waterproof feature, or was there anything else about the phone you thought was quite good, or did you literally just want to dunk it in a drink?
Actually, the first thing was the waterproof, and this feature is really, really attractive to me. And when I got the phone, I used to wash it in front of my friends and to show them the phone. And actually, the second thing, when I saw the Sony Xperia Z with my friend, and I felt that this phone is non-breakable. It is the texture of the phone, the glassy texture, attracted me.
Yeah, because I really like Sony. I think they make beautiful hardware. I had an Xperia. Warren won't like this, but as I say on my bio on the Android users, I think Google make thoroughly underwhelming hardware because they're ultimately a search software company. And Samsung as well make nice hardware. So I got the Xperia just because I like Sony things because they're shiny and sleek and Sony-ish and perform quite well in a hardware perspective. But yeah, a lot of the inbuilt apps were quite annoying, and I had to trade them off as well.
Yeah, and that's the same reason I got the Sony, because I wanted to take the adventure. I don't want to get something easy, something that is equipped. I want to get something and to fully equip it to make it accessible myself with external applications.
I was going to say that what I like about the Sony phones back then, especially in 2013, Sony happened to be one of those manufacturers that actually had what we call a PGE device. And Rana, if you had gotten the PGE version, you wouldn't have had all those problems that you had with Sony, because along with Samsung, even Samsung had a PGE device, and the one I got was a Samsung Galaxy S4, and that was a PGE device. There was the one from Sony, there was the one from HTC, and I think those were the three. There may be another manufacturer that had a PGE device, pure Google edition device, but that was such a nice phone. Probably the boxy feel of the Sony back then was my complaint about the phone, or else, like you said, it's a nice hardware. And no, Ed, I agree with you. When it comes to hardware, Google probably is at the bottom of the barrel here. Frankly, I think that the best looking devices when we're talking hardware wise would be the likes of the Galaxies, especially the flagship phones, beautifully built. And Google needs to do something different, and they know it. We don't count Google here when we talk hardware.
That's why I'm afraid to get, like, I'm too scared to get a Google phone because I've been using Samsung for years and years, and Samsung hardware was amazing. So if I got a Google and I just treat it the same way I treat Samsung phones, it's gonna break like in the first week.
Be scared. Be afraid. Don't talk to strangers. Don't buy a Pixel.
But
Okay?
you know,
Like life mottos. Be scared.
with all of that though, it's a little bit better than it used to be. So let's give a little credit where credit is due. You know.
But the Pixel 5 was rubbish, wasn't it? What was it doing sporting a 765 processor when everyone else was on A6? Like,
Yeah,
what?
I
Why?
don't know. Google took a step back there for some reason. And, you know, Google phones tend to be overpriced, just like Samsung and Nokia, you know, like to overprice their phones. We can count those manufacturers that, you know, kind of put too much price on their phones. And it's not necessarily, come on, man. So, but Google, I don't know what happened. They did that. So that's what happened.
Yeah, but they're not pricey as like Samsung because I've seen some of Samsung phones like they're pretty expensive, way more than Google's are. Like the Samsung Galaxy Fold, for instance, it's pretty expensive. The Z Fold one.
Yeah, but that's a novel thing. That's a new thing. But I'm talking about just simple glass or plastic and whatever. Look at the Google Pixel 4a 5G for $600, or is it even $700? I don't even remember.
$700.
No, actually, no. The
But
Pixel
some of the
5,
Pixels are about
Pixel 5 is
$400.
$700. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Some of the Pixels have gone down in price. I mean, for a while they were going up. I think they were trying to compete with Apple, but then they've gone down. I mean, the higher end are like 600 or 700, but you can get one for about $400 now. So they've gone down in price, and I think $400 is a fair price. Not
No, I like
600.
that 400 price of the Pixel 4a, but the Pixel 5 is an overpriced phone for $700 for what it brings to the table, and yet we have in that same class, you know, phones from other manufacturers that are like $500. I think that thing was way overpriced. That thing
Yeah, I would
shouldn't have
agree with
been
that.
more than
Yeah.
$500 or $550 at the most, but $700, that's why I didn't want to buy that phone. Excuse my Espanol on that one. But yeah, Google's kind of stepping up to the plate, and I hope that these new phones that come from Google are different as they're taking a different direction.
Well, they're supposed to be. There are some favourable rumours about the Pixel 6, aren't there? So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, very curious.
Yeah. Austin, where do people find us?
People can visit us on our website, blindandroidusers.com, which is now ready and looks fantastic and works fantastic. And they can also visit us on our YouTube channel, that is youtube.com/blindandroidusers. If they want to work on your website, you want to build your own website, you can visit Doug's website and contact him. That is arcaccessibility.info. And if you have questions regarding the podcast, send us an email using contact us at blindandroidusers.com. If you want to send in your pre-recorded Android journey story, although we would like you to come live, but if you cannot come live and want to submit your story, send it to myandroidjourney at blindandroidusers.com. To subscribe to our mailing list, you can send an email to blindandroidusers plus subscribe at groups.io and join us on our Telegram group, our Clubhouse, follow us on Twitter. All those links will be in the show notes. And also, please read the show notes for playlist for short segments on this episode. That is all from the Contact Us segment.
And that's all we have for you this week. So we shall see you next week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
See you next week.
And that has been another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. As always, we appreciate hearing from you. You send those email messages to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. For those My Android Journey stories, we encourage you to send those to myandroidjourney@blindandroidusers.com. Until we see you in our next episode, you have a wonderful day.